everyone. It's Sunday and we're back. Oh my god, it's it's good to be back on Ask the Drummer after like a couple of weeks off. Hope you're all well. And also hope that you're all keeping safe because news been that there's quite a lot of people being tested positive again with COVID and stuff. And I know lots of my friends and people I'm friends with on Facebook, they have been posting about being positive and stuff. So it's still out there. So make sure you're keeping safe and still wear your masks when you go out, and especially on buses, public transport and stuff. But yeah, anyways, yeah. Hope you're all well. We're back, and this is now the second half of the year in July, and next month is actually the first year anniversary of Ask the Drummer. I couldn't believe it. It's like 1 year, 1 year of Ask the Drummer. Where did the time go? But yeah, today my guest is really special, because being originally from the Philippines and a new waver, this drummer's band is really important to us Filipinos. So I'm not gonna keep him a bit longer. So my dear friends, please welcome and Ask the Drummer, Graham Boffey. Yay!
Hello.
Hello,
Thank
Graham.
you for having me.
Oh no, thank you for saying yes to Ask the Drummer.
No. I don't get to do many of these, so anything's.
Oh, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Yes, keeping busy. Just been rehearsing for next weekend. Got a
Have
gig
you had
coming up.
have you had COVID yourself? Because
No, luckily I've not had it yet. So
yeah.
go figure. I don't
But
know how.
it's the same with me. I've not had it yet. So
Oh, have you not? Okay. Everyone else I know has had it at least once. So, and I know people have had it 3 or 4 times. So.
yeah. So because I've got one of my best friends. She's actually positive. I think it's like her 4th or 5th, and I was like,
Right.
oh my god. So, but she works in school, so maybe that's why.
Oh, right. Yeah, you catch everything. Yeah, I remember when my kids were at school, they'd come back and then we'd get colds and sniffles all day long.
Yeah, I have been lucky because even though I've been going to gigs and stuff, I'm still managing to avoid it. So,
Because I know you're poorly as well, aren't you? So you definitely need to manage to.
yeah.
Yeah, so I hope you're feeling better anyway.
Oh yeah, yes. Thank you. Right. So first thing, before I actually ask you about yourself, I wanted to ask you about Mick Head. do you like Mick Head?
I've never heard him. I've seen your posts, and I know you love him and you're all over him, but I'll have to check him out. So was he with the band or anything?
It's the Pale Fountains, because I was all checking. I think because Nowhere Girl, the B-Movie, that's 1982, right?
Yeah.
And I was all thinking, I believe the first, or Thank You by the Pale Fountains, that's I think also around the same year, 1982.
All right.
So
was he in the Pale Fountains?
Yeah, he's
right, okay.
in the Pale Fountains.
Well, to be honest, I never really liked much 80s music.
Oh.
The stuff I like is sort of more rocky, like Wedding Present, things like that. If you're talking 80s, Screaming Blue Messiahs.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the American sort of R.E.M.
Yeah. So it's not the new wave B-Movie. So
no, it's kind of strange, isn't it? You think so, wouldn't you? But no.
Yeah.
No, if I was going to buy an album, it would be Wedding Present or, like I say, Screaming Blue Messiah. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I would recommend Dear Scott.
I will check them out. I'll check out Pale Fountains as well.
Yes, and Shaq. And Shaq.
Yeah,
in the 90s. So, anyways, well, that's it. That's all.
Right, okay, fair enough.
Right. So, let's just say hello to some of our friends who joined us. So, hello, Gilbert. Chinese watching in Manila,
Hmm.
uh, Philippines. Yeah, and Trevor Palmer, my dear friend Trevor, said hi, Anne and Graham. He's in Skipton.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
yeah,
More
and
local.
Richard Vaughan. Yeah, it's Kismet. It's Mickhead. This is actually one of the songs. It's so like this is the opening song from Dear Scott.
Right.
It's called Kismet. So, and also hello to Spence Roberts. Oh, thank you for joining us live. So, right, welcome to Ask the Drummer. Episode 44 is all about you, Graham Buffy. So, um, right, I checked out B-Movie. They're from Mansfield in
Yes.
Nottinghamshire. And I was telling you earlier that I haven't been to Mansfield and I don't really.
No. Well, yeah. That's not. It's not the greatest place. There's not a lot to do. To be fair.
Yeah, but being originally from the Philippines, I'm just really curious about all the places in the UK because, you
Right.
know,
Well, Mansfield used to be a
yeah,
mining town back before Thatcher, like closed all the pits. And I'm from a little village just north of Mansfield called Warsett Vale, which used to have its own. We lived right next to the pit, so like from mining stock, really. I remember I used to get up early in the morning and watch my dad go out and pick it, and everything like that was great. Um, so whenever there was a strike on, but yeah, I mean that's it basically. So very working class. B-Movie
yeah,
started from when I went to secondary school. I met Paul, the guitarist, who was in my class. So I've known him since I was 11. Yeah. And then, uh,
right,
so we started a band called The
yeah.
Aborted. So, yeah.
But was there like a place like in Liverpool? There's a place called Eric's where people sort of
Yes.
like the teenagers hang out and stuff like,
Right.
or the hacienda. Is there something similar like that in Mansfield?
No, there was no, well, if you, there was pubs, obviously, there's loads of pubs. And, the main street in Mansfield, there was about 20 pubs on both sides, up and down. So, but if you wanted to go and see bands, you had to go either to Retford, to the Porterhouse, which was very famous. So they had all sorts of bands on there. Saw the Fall there, Ultravox, Generation X twice, God, loads of bands, Only Ones. And in Nottingham, if you went to Nottingham, it was a Sandpiper. So that was a club. That was sort of before Rock City started.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
obviously,
yeah. Well, the first time I've been to Nottingham was when I went to see Mick Head in this place called Rescue Rooms, which you
yeah.
mentioned Rock City, and that's just next door.
Well, it belongs to Rock City, I think.
Oh, Rescue Rooms.
Yeah, it used to. Don't know whether it still does, but it's kind of downstairs, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I played there a few times. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's a nice city because I was like saying to you that it's nice because it's got Jollibee as well.
Well, yeah, that's something I'll have to try out.
Because that's how you can tell that it's a major city because they
Right,
have
okay.
Jollibee in Nottingham.
I shall check it out. Promise.
Yeah, you should. You should do. It's really nice. Just have the chicken because it's the crispiest chicken you could
Oh, is it?
ever
Okay.
have in your
Right.
life. Yeah. But yeah. So you met Paul,
Yes,
who's the
the guitarist.
guitarist.
Yeah.
Yeah, of B-Movie when you were 11. But so do you immediately form the band or
No, so it was all when punk rock happened. So back in 75, 76. I remember reading in the NME all these new bands coming up, and I was fascinated by the names. Never heard anyone. So, like, there's Damned, The Clash, Sex
yeah?
Pistols, and they're all sounded very exciting. So, I went and listened to the music, and then me and Paul got into the music, and then we said, let's form a band. And so, my two older brothers, they joined. One, not for very long, to be fair. It was terrible, horrible. But we couldn't play or anything, so we thought he didn't have to play, So we learnt on the job, as it were. And then that all caved in, and then we met Steve, who's obviously a singer songwriter. he
yeah.
joined us, and he was at the same school as well. So, but we
All
weren't
right.
really friends. We weren't in the same friends network. So he joined. We asked him to join, and there we are. And then so three piece for quite a while. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
put an advert in the paper for a keyboard player,
yeah.
and Rick was the only one who answered it.
Who answered it?
So he joined, and we did our first gig as a four piece in New Year's Eve in Mansfield, uh, New Year's Day in Mansfield. Yeah, so
Right.
yeah,
Um.
1980.
Oh
So
wow.
start of the
Well,
decade. That's how old I
well,
am.
yeah. Trevor said that he saw the wedding presser at Rock City, and he's, the wedding presser is sort of like the one that you said you were
Yeah,
familiar
well,
with.
so I
So,
went to see them a couple of years ago, in yeah, they were doing the Bizarro album. They did all that. So
oh,
that's good.
yeah, yeah. Oh, well, so have you always been the drummer? I
Yes,
mean, what got you into drumming?
I wanted to play bass, right? But
Yeah,
they said, because I was always tapping, whenever a record came on, I was always doing this. So they made me become a drummer, and there we are. And so, yeah, I didn't have a clue how to play drums, really. Some say I still
well,
don't. But um, yeah, so I got a Jack Parnell book on drumming. Which Jack Parnell used to be a band leader, British band leader back in the 50s and 60s. And I got his book on how to drum out of the library, and I just practiced on that for about.
all right.
Pardon?
What's it called? Sorry, what's it called?
Jack Parnell's book
Jack
on drumming.
Parnell. All right,
Yeah, I
okay.
was a band leader, so like
Yeah,
swing music. So started playing like that, and then I just learned how to do stuff by
yeah, yeah.
default. Really?
So you didn't go for like drumming lessons. You just
No,
taught
no, not the
yourself
one.
how
No.
to. Yeah, yeah,
Some people say I need to do it, but yeah. So yeah, it's all my own work, as it were.
yeah. So like, well, going back to Mansfield, because I said earlier that I've actually Googled it. It's not really a musical city, is it?
No,
But
there's
then,
no very few bands. I mean, there's obviously Alvin Stardust.
yeah, that's the one that I was gonna say. That the notable musicians from Mansfield, it says, is like Alvin Stardust and 10 years after.
Yes, what's his name? The guitarist Alvin Lee. Yeah,
Yeah,
but,
yeah,
but very tenuous links. I think Alvin Stardust lived in Mansfield for about 2 years because he's from somewhere else, just down south, I think. And same with Alvin Lee. So yeah, tenuous links, really.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
then
no, it's
another
not a musical. I mean,
no.
Nottingham isn't either. To be fair, there's not had many major bands from Nottingham.
Apart from B-Movie, I mean that's the
Well,
from
yeah, well,
B-Movie from Mansfield. They
yes,
should really, I mean, Wikipedia, I think, should add you there as well, like notable people from Mansfield.
yeah.
They
We
should
never lived up. Yeah, I
have.
mean, sort of nowhere girl. Everyone knows it, but no one bought it. So you know,
Well, the other one that I find really interesting, and I know my husband, Aiden Nawal, my tech support as well, he's gonna find it interesting because um, the leader of Manchester City Council, Sir Richard Lees,
right,
I found out that he's actually from Mansfield as well.
right.
So,
Later, moved up north.
yeah.
He got out quick, didn't he? You know what?
So a B movie was your first band.
Yes,
Um,
first
where did
proper.
where did the name come from?
It's an Andy Warhol painting, and we were stuck for a name. And Steve just rang us up and said, "I've thought of one, B-Movie," and explained what it was. We went, "Okay, yeah, we'll take it." But obviously, it's a bit prophetic because we turned out to be a B-movie, you know.
No,
So yeah,
like I said, I mean, if you talk to any Filipino new waver, like
yeah,
what they'll, one of their favorite sort of like bands from the 80s. So they'll say that B movie because that song Nowhere Girl which
It got to number 5 in Spain apparently as well. So
yeah,
uh, Spanish. It must be something about Spanish language because Filipinos speak Spanish, do they?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
it must be something to do with the Spanish language.
Yeah, that's 40 years old. That
Mm.
Nowhere Girl.
Thank
It's
you for
just
reminding me.
so. I remember sort of like being a teenager in the Philippines and hearing
Right.
it for the first time. I was sort of like thinking, God, this is so amazing. This song
Thank you.
is
Yeah.
so good.
Yes.
And
Recorded that I think just after Christmas in 1981. We just done a tour of Europe, came back and just banged it out in a day. So yeah,
yeah.
that's cool. Of course, the one that got the highest in the British charts was Remembrance Day, which reached dizzy heights of 61.
And Marilyn Dreams.
Yeah, that got to 100,
Marilyn Dreams
just
also sort of
99.
like
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
One of my favourite reviews of Marilyn Dreams was by someone in the NME, and it said, "I don't need this precious drone," and that was it. It's great. Yeah.
Oh, Richard Bourne said that 6x7 is a fantastic Nottingham band. I've not heard of 6x7, but I'm gonna look it up.
Yes, I
No,
would. Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna look it up. Yeah. So, um, B-Movie. So, like, not really. Did you disband or just sort of like stop
Uh,
playing and then
we went to America, and then
yeah,
I came back a bit early because we weren't getting on, and then the band left me. I like to say, so I was sacked, and then they went on. They did a bit with some session people. Uh, then they did that album, Forever Running.
forever running. Yeah,
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 yeah, I wasn't on that, so thank God, 'cause it's awful. Anyway, but yeah, so they went and did that for a bit, and then they disbanded. Paul, he went then on his own, and he did stuff with Dido, and so wrote a lot of Dido songs,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
Kylie Minogue, and all that sort of thing. So he's
yeah.
one that stayed in music, and the other two just did their own stuff. Steve went into a band after, yeah,
Yeah.
with one.
Um, yeah, because I was sort of like, I realized now that you were the drummer when they did Switch On, Switch Off, because
No, that wasn't me.
that was another sort of like major song in the Philippines.
Was
That,
it? Right.
yeah, yeah. So not as, I mean, big, but not as big as
Well, it
Nowhere
wouldn't be, would
Girl.
it? Really?
It was like,
It didn't have the engine. It didn't have the powerhouse.
oh, I gotta say, I forgot to tell you that the last time I saw B-Movie was at Dingwalls in London
Yes,
in
sporting
2017,
Blue Zoo. Yeah.
supporting Blue Zoo. And being a Filipino new waver, that was a dream gig for me.
All right. Okay.
I mean, because it was like Blue Zoo and B-Movie together in one
Right.
night. Because Blue Zoo's Love Moves in Strange Ways, I think that's for me. For me, I mean, I'm not sure about the others though, but for me, that's the
Yeah.
definitive new
Again,
wave song.
I'd not heard anything by Blue Zoo either.
Oh,
I'm terrible. People say to me, all these 80s bands like Talk and all that and China Crisis. I think
yeah.
not really my cup of tea.
But well, there was a post by a musician earlier that I saw on Facebook saying that if you're a musician yourself, and sometimes because you're so focused on your own craft or your own music,
Yeah.
that you tend to not so like hear or know what's the other musicians around you are doing
Yeah, I
or
suppose. I mean, that could be it as well. But I mean, I love, to me, the best band ever of all time and ever will be are the Kinks. They are the most stunning, wonderful. I mean, I prefer them to the Beatles, David
yeah,
Bowie, obviously, like that. But yeah, I mean, anything by the Kinks, it's just fabulous. I mean, I think I've got pretty broad musical taste. I mean, I listen to a lot of old swing, jazz classics, and all that sort of thing.
yeah,
Artie
yeah,
Artist Shore and all that sort of stuff, and it comes right up. Well, not to modern day really, because the most modern band I particularly like Vaccines. So, but it tends to either be melodic swing music and pop, or kind of rocky melodic rock that I'm into.
Right. Well, what about bands like? Have you heard of Inhaler?
No,
Uh, you know, like Bonner's son, Eli. He's got a band now called
well,
and he's in a band called Inhaler. Bonner
Bono.
from you too. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
They got
Well,
they're quite big. They're very big
all
at
right.
the moment.
Okay. I mean, you two sent everyone a copy of their album. I mean, the most egotistical thing to do in the entire world. I immediately deleted it, even if I'd
Oh
have
my.
read it, because just so egotistical. I mean, yeah, I mean, I prefer bands, that the kind of not people not heard of, I suppose. I don't know why. It's kind of strange. I like, like I said, Wedding Present, things like that. A bit more rocky, a bit more melodic. But
Yeah,
yeah, if
yeah.
you're talking 80s, a lot of that middle 80s stuff passed me by. Until you get to bands like, I don't know, you've heard Census Things and Mega City 4.
Senseless. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We, there was that sort of, I was in another, after we left B-Movie, I was in a band called Slaughterhouse 5, and we went to
I
see
was.
them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
ask
yeah.
you about that one. So.
Yeah, we saw them, and that just like blew us away, and it's like completely sort of just fast melodic pop. Yeah, great.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, Slaughterhouse Five.
Hmm.
Can you tell us more about that band? I mean,
Yes, it
that's
was.
one, yeah.
Well,
Well,
sorry,
that one I saw like not really very familiar, but I looked it up on Discogs. You actually did
an
a
album.
couple of
Yeah,
records with an album,
yeah. We
yeah,
did
yeah.
it. IRS actually signed us up, and it was just before the, the company went to stop. Stopped. I think they just stopped. It was what's his name, Copeland, Miles Copeland. So they signed us up. We went and did an album, and they kind of let it escape, and there was no sort of promotion. But yeah, Slaughterhouse 5. That's named after a Kurt Vonnegut book, Slaughterhouse 5, obviously the same name, and it's about Kurt. I don't know if you read much Kurt Vonnegut, bit science fiction, but he
No.
was he was a prisoner in Dresden just before the bombing where we razed it to the ground, and he's sort of the book's about that. So it's an anti-war book, and everyone thought we were heavy metal because of the name Slaughterhouse 5, but it's not. It was different. It's an anti-war novel. But yeah, we just played fast, thrashy, melodic pop, and then because it was the bloke
All right.
Dave Lawrence who was asked me to join after
Yeah, yeah.
I was at a loose end musically. So yeah, again, you know, another
And
has
Davy Lawrence also from Mansfield, is that right?
yes, yeah,
But
yeah.
there's an article on Google that I saw that it says that Slaughterhouse Five is like a Manchester-based band.
Well, we got the
But
first bit, man, right, Mansfield. No, they're all from Mansfield.
they're all from Mansfield.
Yeah, north of Manchester. Difficult to travel to Manchester to find a band, but yeah. So and we played loads. Went all played all over. Played more gigs with them than I did with B-Movie. To be fair.
And then after Slaughterhouse Five, there was another band that you and Davy Lawrence actually were together, a band called Enormous,
Yes,
which is
enormous.
like really, yeah, it's a great name,
I
Enormous.
know.
Like,
Yeah, we should. And we had a trumpet and a saxophone, and they were called the Enormous Horns. So,
of the
but they were
two,
more or less. I mean, Slaughterhouse 5 morphed into Enormous when the IRS thing stopped, so we just changed slightly. And again, it was melodic pop again. So but we did loads of recordings, but none of them actually got released. So yeah, if you find any,
oh, well,
I mean, I've got a couple on my YouTube thing that I put on. So if you want to
yeah,
listen,
there's on YouTube there's like an acoustic version of God, I should have written down that song because something girlfriend, pathetic girlfriend or
That's a
something.
girlfriend.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. There was a sort of like an acoustic version of it. That
yeah. Well,
was
the original version's over in about 1.5 minutes, and it's just like and it's like, and it's just dead thrashy and just yeah, quite funny. And,
and that one because I noticed that Enormous actually got its own Wikipedia entry. Slaughterhouse Five didn't get a it didn't get a
oh right, okay,
Wikipedia
fair enough.
entry, but Enormous did, which is good.
Kind of strange that we didn't release any music. So there you go.
But
It must have
when
been one
that
of the band who put it up.
pardon.
Must have been someone in the band who put it up.
Maybe Davy Lawrence or something,
Probably.
because
Yeah.
because the video that I saw has actually has got a name Davy Lawrence in there, so I
Yeah.
was thinking it's got to be him. So
Possibly.
it's got to be his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So, yes, those were they the only two bands that you played in when you were
There was another band called Soft as Ghosts that was immediately after B-Movie. So that again, you can find a couple of tracks um, on YouTube. That was for about 6 months. Did one gig and then stopped. The singer songwriter wasn't interested. So, and then we moved from there to Dave's bands, and there was a couple of incarnations before we came Slaughterhouse Five.
yeah,
That
yeah.
was like late 80s or mid to late 80s, then early 90s, and then nothing after Enormous.
Yeah, but then in 2004,
Yes.
B movie reformed.
Yeah, Steve rang me up and
Yeah.
he said, you're not harboring any hard feelings, for being sacked. I went, 20 odd years ago, Steve. I'm kind of over that now. And he just, well, we've got a gig in London if you want to do it. So I said, yeah, okay. And we did it. And then we've not looked back. And then we released 2 or 3 albums since. It's kind of
Yeah.
it's kind of strange how you record now. You don't go into a studio and record like you used to. Everyone does their bits at home. So I go into the studio, record the drums, and then everybody, like guitars, are all done at Paul's studio, and Steve does his bass at home and stuff like that, and Rick used to do his
Oh,
keyboards. So it's all kind of so you never actually get in. The last one we did, I can't remember the title of the album now.
is it Age of Illusion?
Age of Illusion. No, that
Yeah.
was no, not
Climate of Fear.
Climate of
Climate
Fear.
of
That was
Fear is
that
yeah,
was the last time we did like an out studio album together.
yeah,
Age of
yeah.
Illusion was done, like I say, piecemeal. You just sort of basically record it at home and then email it in. It's kind of a strange way to do it, but yeah.
Oh, but what was it like getting back together after being apart or being away for so many
Well,
years?
it's kind of strange because you've got to learn to play. I've not played for about 10 years, so I just stopped playing. And so I had to learn to play drums again, proper. And when you've stopped playing drums for a while and you start again, the blisters are terrible. You get loads of blisters, so I had to live through all that again. But yeah, it was great. I mean, actually going out, playing to an audience who still remembered us. I mean, that one played in London, there's people coming from all over. I mean, I
Yeah.
think someone came from Indonesia or something like that to see us. Kind of
Well,
weird.
in 2017, when I saw you supporting Blue Zoo, I met someone there who came all the way from Sweden as well,
Right, yeah,
just
yeah.
to see.
I think we met
Yeah,
him. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Just like,
Beppe, his name is, and he's also,
oh,
I
Becky
think,
Beatong. Yeah, yeah, I think.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He was in the band. I think he was also in the band in the 80s, or I think probably he still is in the band. They're still
right.
doing full like gigs and stuff. But yeah, yeah. Beppe is. We
Yeah,
became so like good friends after that gig, so that
yeah.
was good.
It's just really amazing to realise that you touch so many people without knowing it. You know, it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
very nice. It's like and then when we go out now, we do Nowhere Girl. We do like a version with like the 12-inch version, and then people just you can hear them singing along and all sorts. You see them just
Yeah,
up in there. It's great.
because the first time I've heard "Know a Girl" live, uh, I mean, before that 2017 gig, I actually saw you in Manchester as well, because you played at the Deaf Institute.
Yes, yes. With
It was like a record store day thingy,
yeah,
and it was,
yeah. I can't
uh,
remember the other bands. Something Junction 25
uh,
or something.
yeah.
Something like that.
Um, No, I've forgotten who the other bands were, but I
Yeah.
remember it was for a record store day, and then you released like a 7 inch, which is
Yes, yeah,
demo. Yeah, I
yeah.
could.
Andy,
Yeah,
Andy
yeah,
Woods, our manager, used to live in Manchester, so he sort of got us a gig up there. Yeah, so yeah, it was
yeah.
kind of yeah, it's a nice gig that was.
And I remember like saying to Paul Statham, because the two gigs that I went to like see you, he's always saw like Paulie. Like,
Yeah,
he would-
yeah, it was a memory. It was
there's
very cool
always,
that gig. Yeah,
there's always like something wrong with him. Like when I saw him in Manchester, I think it was his arm
it,
or something. That's all.
I think he got really bad flu on one of those gigs. Yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
Pay through the plane, play through the pain. That's what you have to do. I mean, we did a gig in Slovakia, and I got flu just before the gig, and it's terrible. So I had to go out and then play with raging flu for about an hour and a half. So just murder.
Yeah, but the
Still
show was, the
consummate
show was
professional.
on. Yeah, because that video that I took of Noah Girl, it's like 7 minute long, and I think the
Yes,
intro was like, I don't know, half of it. It's like
yes.
a
Well,
3 minute intro.
we tried to emulate the 12-inch version, so you know, so yeah. But I think, yeah, I think people like it. The 12 inch,
Yeah. Oh yes, absolutely. I mean, we love
yeah.
it, and I
Yeah.
think if ever there's a chance for you to go to the
Yes.
Philippines would love B-Movie. You
Well,
know.
we get offers every now and again. Somebody offered us to go, but it's just such a long way to play one gig. We keep getting offered gigs in America, and we've been offered one in Mexico. But just to go out to Mexico to do one gig, it's kind of you say when you got to the flights, all the visas, and then they want you to fly out on the day. So naturally you're going to be jet lagged, and then fly back the
Yeah.
day after. So 14 hour flights in 3 days. It's not worth it.
It's
Yeah.
no.
It'd be lovely to go for a week or so. 'Cause I've never been to Mexico or Philippines or. So yeah, it'd be great to go, but just
It's
unless you've
like
got.
make it like a holiday or something.
Well, that's
So
what
do a
we're
couple
playing.
of gigs. And
We're playing in Germany next week, so we've got a gig at Hennessy, which is Meshida, Chilean Hennessy. It's great. We play it up until the pandemic. We've played it every year for about 10 years, and it's just fantastic. It's like proper family atmosphere. People take the kids there, and it's right out on a lake, So and there's like a little thing there, and the bloke who puts it on, Thomas, is crazy, mad as a box of frogs, but he does a brilliant
yeah.
thing, and it's on Salt them along. So there's a band on. So if you chilling AMC, Chilean Hennessy. Yeah, yeah. So it's really cool. So yeah, so we've been rehearsing over the weekend because we've got a new keyboard player, obviously, because Rick
Yeah,
decided
yeah.
to leave. So
Yeah.
rehearsing with her over the weekend. His name's Marina. Um,
All right.
yeah, she's gonna play at least this one gig, hopefully more. Um, she's brilliant. So yeah, so we're looking forward to that, and that's like a holiday. So we fly out there on Friday, play on the Saturday, come back on the Monday.
And then come back.
Yeah,
All
that's good.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. But are there any more like plans for B-movie gigs in the UK or?
We're
Yeah.
doing. We've been offered one before the Chameleons gig. I think that's on December the 19th. So playing with supporting Chameleons, and that one's left over from it's just when the pandemic hit about
Yeah.
2020. So we're
And
doing that.
that's at the Ritz. That's at the Ritz, isn't it, in Manchester?
Yes, I don't
The
know whether it
Ritz.
still is, but yeah,
Yeah.
I just turn up and play. But yeah, so we've got that coming up, and we've been offered one in Nottingham the day before. So the problem is it's logistics now because we've all got different lives. Steve lives near Cambridge, Paul lives in London, Marina lives in Vienna. So it's difficult. Yeah, so it's difficult to obviously sort it out. I mean,
Yeah.
we've got someone who could fill in for keyboards for us in England but it's just logistically it's very difficult to put gigs on.
Yeah, yeah. I suppose it's different. So like rehearsals, you know, when you can do an album just by sending in
Yeah,
your
your
part
stuff.
for via
Yeah.
email, but if rehearsing, you've got to be physically there and so
Yes.
be together and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I say, we did 2 days, Friday and Saturday, yesterday and Friday, and two full
Yeah,
days, like 8 to 9 hours rehearsal each day. So yeah, so it's like it's hard going,
yeah.
but
Well,
yeah, enjoyed it.
can I just ask when you said that you didn't play drums for 10 years?
Yes,
What what did you so like? What did you do? Like, what?
had a family, worked, got two daughters. It wasn't. I didn't make a decision to stop playing drums. I was just there was no uh, opportunity to do it. So like Slaughterhouse Five and then Enormous sort of caved in, and then it just petered to an end, to a stop, and put the drums away in the cellar. And then Steve said, "You want to rehearse again?" Okay, so I took them out. Took them out, cleaned them all down, got all the rust off, and then there we go. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't a conscious decision. It was just no opportunity, really. I
Yeah,
would have carried on if it was, but you know,
you didn't join so like a local band or so like just to so that you can
there weren't any. There
keep
wasn't.
playing band or keep playing drums.
Well, I mean, there was. I did a couple of gigs with for people doing cover stuff. So I did one for uh, what did they do? They did all that, the Stacks and the Motown stuff. So I did that.
Yeah,
But they're just few and far between, and then they stopped. You know, people stopped saying can you go and drum, and if they did, I'd think it's too much like hard work because I don't really know you and I don't know what your music's like, and if I turn up and I don't like it, you know,
yeah.
yeah,
Apart from B movie, Steve Hovington also does his solo.
yes,
Uh,
he's
he's
got two albums out, hasn't he? He did one
yeah.
without me, and his last one, Audience with Myself.
Oh,
Yeah, I
just yeah.
played drums on that for him for most of the tracks, and we did 3 gigs. So Nottingham, Cambridge, and London.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, yes, we couldn't go there. But yeah, I mean that's good. It's different, it's a completely different feel. It's more laid back and sort of lounge music type stuff almost. So yeah, it
so
was.
would you say that there's not much sort like similarities the B movie music or is there
Yeah,
any
it's different. Yeah, it's not as uh, full on rocky.
electronic?
Or even I mean, B-Movie is not really electronic. We just got keyboards, I think. So we're not like we were never an electronic band in inverted commas. We're just
Yeah.
a rock band that had a keyboard player, I think, and it turned out and there were synthesizers. So I think that's how we. I mean, we always used to think we were Echo and the Bunnymen. To be fair, we preferred that sort of stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
so we actually, but Steve's stuff is different. It's breath of fresh air. It's really cool. We've got a waltz in there. Um, so yeah, you want to listen to it.
And just and you playing drums so like for Steve Hovington it's almost like because that's half of B movie already.
Yes, I mean we did a gig in Brighton and we got Paul in, but I mean, but the rest now we've got 3 people who aren't at B-Movie. So again, it's different. It's a different feel to how they play. I mean,
Yeah.
on the album I was playing with, there's a couple of tracks with brushes and with I don't really know what hot rods are, so it's more laid back drumming. It's not full
With
on
yeah.
back in
but
a
do
way.
you but do you so like include some like some of the hits from B movie
Yes,
like
yeah, we do. Yeah, I mean, we're doing slightly differently, obviously, but yeah, I mean, people know Steve from B-Movie, so they expect some B-Movie tracks. I think we did
yeah.
3. Yeah, but yeah,
Oh,
but you want to
that's
listen to his album? It's really good. It's really good.
yeah. Well, hopefully you can so like come up north and do that like
Yes.
audience with
Well,
myself.
again, we do. It's how do we? Yeah, you have to be offered the gigs, I suppose. Yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be. These were only small places we played. The best one was a place in London. Gee, I'm terrible with names. Can't remember her name. Well, that was good. That was a good gig. It's quite full.
yeah.
Yeah, but
And
yeah.
so like going back to Dingwall, so I realized now that because it was such a long time ago, that Dingwalls is not called Dingwalls anymore.
Oh right. Okay. Is it not?
It's called Powerhouse now.
Oh right. Okay.
They've changed.
Everything changes. Nothing stays the same. You have to accept that, I suppose.
um, do you twirl when you? I don't think I've seen you, so like, I've only seen you twice anyway. So I was like,
Right.
do you
Go
do
on,
you
what?
twirl?
I can do, but I figure if I did that and then I dropped my drumstick, I'd look stupid. So I don't bother. I can only do it with one hand. I'm not like Clem Burke, you know. Yeah, I'm not really a flashy drummer. I'm just, straight fall to the floor and all that sort of thing. So, yeah, you might see me twirl now and again, but it'll be very few and far between. I'm normally trying to remember the songs, so
So it was all like twirling and then trying to
yeah,
like, oh my god, I forgot.
'cause every
And now
time there's a news, I say, how does this one start? How does this one start? I have to think it through in my head.
I just think it's brilliant when like when I see drummers twirl because it's like it just it's like a
Yeah, it
show.
makes it's more of a show. Yeah, I mean, have you seen Blondie? I've seen Blondie a couple of
Yeah,
times. Yeah,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
doing it all. But he's left-handed, so that's why I can do it with his left hand. He's actually left-handed, so he just plays right-handed. So that's why I
Well,
can do it.
there's the new drummer for A Flock of Seagulls.
Yeah.
Um, Kevin, his name is. Every single so like he just twirls all the
All
time.
right. Okay.
Every time he beats the drum, he's just twirling. Like, it's unbelievable, but it's so like
It's a
in a
skill.
way,
It's a
yeah, it
skill.
is.
But yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But
no,
it's
I'm.
so like gets your mind off Mike's
Yeah.
score, and you can only so like focus. You focus on the drummer, and
Right. No. Well, I mean, the thing with being a drummer is I enjoy being in the background. To be fair, so after the done the gig, and they're all getting all people coming up to them, getting the autographs and that, I try and just sneak off. So,
oh no, you shouldn't do that because we need to we need to ask for a photograph with you and also get your signatures and stuff. So
yeah, well, I'm not. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, I'm a bit of a introvert, unfortunately. So pick the wrong
well,
business.
well, I'm really glad that you said yes to it because I wasn't sure, because I'm glad
No,
that you're
no, no.
here talking to me. Like,
Yeah,
but anyways, I also want to say hello to Lisa Horton, and Rob Jones who joined us. Thank you so much for joining us live. So, do you have any drumming heroes?
yes,
Uh,
quite a lot.
yeah.
You've probably not heard of many of them. Mick Avery, the Kinks, Kinks drummer. Yeah, he's just solid. Al Jackson Jr., the Stax band drummer. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, he's fantastic.
So,
Clem Burke.
were these like jazz drummers or?
No, no, Stax, the R&B, proper R&B, Otis Redding and all that. He played in all
Oh,
the.
right, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he was just. They used to call him the beatbox because he was just like solid. So Mick Avery, uh, Clem Burke, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Come back, yeah.
Um, that's
Do
right.
you like Rennie?
Who?
Rennie from the Stone Roses.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah.
He's like, I mean, Rennie
It's
is.
supposed to be brilliant. It's supposed to be, yeah. Um,
Yeah.
but again, I've not really. Again, I didn't get into Stone Roses so much. So it's supposed to be really good. I mean, I suppose I can't think of someone you might know that I like.
But when it's very so like fascinating that the time that when B-Movie was so like doing this Nova Girl
Yeah,
and Marion James and everything, were there also like any bands or like around that time that you're really into as well, apart from the Wedding Present and Screaming Blue Messiahs or something?
and
But any
Echo and the
other?
Bunnymen, Peter
Oh,
Fraser.
okay. Peter
Yeah, Peter
Fraser. Yeah,
Fraser's, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
brilliant. Yeah,
yeah,
he died way too early. He was excellent.
yeah.
Teardrop Explodes. Um,
All right.
yeah,
Okay.
all that sort of stuff. A lot of the Liverpool stuff.
Yeah.
Um, Original Mirrors.
Oh
Is that,
yeah, that's Ian
yeah,
Brody's. Ian
yes,
Brody's
that's right. Yeah,
band.
yeah. Saw those. Yeah, when he was still in the band. Yeah, and then he obviously only went to do his own stuff. Saw him sporting Madness. Ian Brody. What's the name of his band? Yeah. So that was good. That was a great gig. Yeah, Madness. I mean, uh, Dr. Feelgood. Yeah, that sort of
Oh,
that
yeah,
dramatic
yeah.
figure. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of, and any drummer who plays on a record I like, is quite good. As long as the music's good, it's great. Right, yeah, but I can't think of many. I mean, obviously, like Gene Krupa. I don't know whether Gene Krupa, the
Yeah,
Scottish rock
yeah,
drummer. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But do you still go to gigs? So like as
Not as nowhere near as often as I used to. I mean, again, I have to travel to Nottingham, so we saw uh, Wedding Present, and we saw big company. Oh God, I'm terrible with names. Oh, Dead South. Yeah, they're both at Rock City. That's the last gig I went to. That's just before the pandemic.
and
So
when you go to so like gigs, do you check out the drummers or being a
yes,
drummer
yeah,
yourself?
obviously, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, the Wedding Present drummer was is Jake Shillingford's drummer. Jake Shillingford.
All right, my life story.
Yes. So they used his drummer. And obviously, was doing it, and he was brilliant.
All
He was very, very, very good. Yeah. So yeah, check out, see what they're doing. See, oh yeah, yeah, that's good. I like that. I'll pinch that.
right. Oh, I need to find out who the drummer is after the Wedding Press. I remember seeing them in Leeds 3 years ago, I think. But
Yeah,
that was before I started as the drummer.
yeah.
So
I
was
think there's only
it?
there's doing sessioning, so I don't think it may not be mentioned. They have, he, he gets session people in now, doesn't he? What's his name? David Gedge. Yeah,
Yeah, David Gage. Yeah. Well, my friend Trevor said that you can't sneak off if I was there at the audience because I will sort like I will be hanging around, so like waiting for you to come out.
We did a gig once at the Porterhouse in Retford, and came off stage, and it was red hot, and I was sweating, and I was toweling myself down and everything. And this bloke came up and he asked everyone for their autograph, and he came up to me and went, "Do you know where the drummer is, mate? I want his autograph."
Oh
He's over there. So yeah, so
no! Oh, I suppose
that's
it's
how anonymous.
I think it's like at that gig at Dingwalls, it was so dark, and then you
Yes,
were so like at the back,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you couldn't really so like tell
No, I mean,
tell who
even
the
when
drummer is.
even when I got my own kit, because I tend not to use my own kit now, because everyone has their own place. And so I have my cymbals so right in front of my face, so I don't know why. So you can't really see me anyway. So
Well, the one thing sometimes I know is that because you do have a lot of equipment,
yeah,
and I think with drummers, especially they have to sort of like dismantle everything, and then they get really like
nightmare.
they get so tired, and after the gig, and then sometimes the last thing they want is for so like fans to ask them.
Absolutely. That's why I like playing abroad, because I just turn up with my sticks, put them on the floor tom, play, pick my sticks up, because all the gears, it's going to be hired in, so it's not mine, so I don't have to worry about it.
Oh,
It's great.
yeah, yeah. Because I mean,
I'm the
I
first
mean,
one to the door.
I mean, I try not to sort of like be a nuisance or so like a pain to the musicians, but I always wait until they feel like they're more relaxed.
Yeah,
They can just
yeah, because it's
before.
when you've been thumping away for about an hour and then you come off and you're all sweaty. Sometimes you need to take a breather.
Yeah. No, but you don't mind though. I mean, you don't really
No,
mind. Like
it's part of the
fans,
job,
they're
isn't it?
like going.
If I minded, I
Cool.
wouldn't do it, would I? So
Yeah. I mean, so like when we come up to you and say, "Oh, can you sign this?" or "Can I have a
yeah,
photograph?"
when we played Germany, they get you to sign everything all at once. They come and they've got loads of stuff that we didn't even know we'd released. I mean, there's just like a load of uh, bootleg stuff, and they just sign that, and then you do get a bit bored after a while. But yeah,
Sorry, I'm sorry for laughing. It's just that I can relate to that one. That's why I always make sure that I only bring a limited number of
yeah,
records.
because yeah, they've got bags with all your records in, and it's like okay, and right this one. But yeah, again, it's part of the job. If we didn't want people to come, we wouldn't play in a band, would we? So there you go. So it's all part and parcel of the same thing. You know.
Well, you've been drumming for so many years. Have you ever
So,
had like a what I call a drumming disaster? Have you?
oh God, yeah, many. We were playing a gig and I was playing to a click track and I missed my cue to come in 3 times. So they play it and they're all looking at me and going, "What are you looking at?" And then you're supposed to play that. I went, "Oh, geez, sorry, start again." So started again twice more, 3 times. So yeah, and you do things and you come up to a big fill. You're going, "All right, I'm going to rock this fill," and then you drop a stick and something like that, and it goes pinging out into the audience, and you have to pretend you meant it.
But you always have lots of spares anyway. You can always just produce one
Yeah,
straight
yeah,
away.
yeah. That's why I had a bag. But yeah, but like audience members have been like catching my sticks for years.
And do you have any advice to also like aspiring drummers out there?
Yes, learn to play the clarinet or something like that. You can just pack away really easily,
Oh my,
or
that's
just get used, or just get used to dragging great big heavy boxes about. But no, I suppose the thing to do is just to play, make mistakes. Yeah, don't worry about them. Yeah, everyone makes mistakes. Just learn by them, and and enjoy it because it's great fun. You know, and then I tell
yeah.
you what about playing drums is that you can't get on a clarinet is you can't bang out your frustrations on a clarinet. So if you're feeling really, so I've got electronic kit in the house, and if I'm feeling a bit tense or something like that, I just bang some music on and just play along to it, and it's just mellows it out. You know,
Yeah.
bit of exercise.
Yes. It's good. Yeah, it's good. Well, I hope to see you and B movie again.
Yes,
So,
we
like
are playing in Manchester
soon.
in December, so up in your neck of the woods, supporting the
Yeah.
comedians, I believe. It was
Yeah.
going to be Kurt Brandon and Theatre of Hate. I don't know whether it still is,
Oh, right.
but it was
Yeah,
on the
I
bill.
like them. I like Kirk Brandon.
Yeah, I saw Theatre of Hate a few times. Yeah, back in the day
Yeah,
in London.
yeah,
But yeah,
and anything else that you want to say to our friends, so especially if people
no,
saw like watching in the Philippines as well, because like I said, the B movie, it's such a great band and
thank you.
very
Well,
very popular in the Philippines. So.
to say thank you for liking us and keep on. We're still producing music, and If you're in Germany next week, we're playing there, and if not, if you're in Manchester in December, hopefully we'll see you there. Thank
Well,
you for.
whereabouts in Germany? Sorry, are you playing again?
It's called Meshede. It's called Chilin Hennessy.
So,
Hennessy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Hennessy is the lake. So it's like a man-made lake.
Oh,
It's beautiful, really lovely. It's great.
oh, sorry, I forgot to ask you. There's a new album coming out as well that.
We're in the
Uh,
middle of recording it.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
So don't know what it's going to be called yet. Don't know when it's going to be released. Because again, it's all everyone's doing all the stuff out in the past. So yeah, I've recorded drums to my bit. So we're just waiting for it to be released all together. I think what we're going to probably do is release, track after track after track rather than a full album of a
full
big.
album. Yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully this year, sometime this year.
Oh yeah,
Or
hopefully this year. Yeah, yeah. I'm
yeah.
sorry, I don't know much more about it, but yeah.
No,
Again,
no.
it's logistics because we've all got our own lives to lead, and so it's getting things done.
Yeah.
We can't work as fast as when we're all music was our job, sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, I've got another message from Roel Marasegan. He said that hope to see you in Detroit sometime in the future. That
Yes,
would be nice.
played Detroit years ago, 1981, I think, something like that. Again, America, it's difficult. The visas cost 1,500 quid each to get a
Is
visa.
it? Oh
Yeah,
God.
it's free for them to come here, but we have to pay a fortune to go to America. So it's very
Oh,
difficult to put a gig on in America because the visas are a nightmare. And again, if someone comes up with a good deal, we'll certainly have a look at it.
oh my God. Is that how much it costs to go to
Yeah,
America?
yeah, terrible, really is prohibitive. Again, because we've been offered gigs in, like I say, some Huntington Beach,
Yeah.
and we're going to do it without a visa. Again, they wanted to fly us in the day before and fly us out the day after. So you don't want to go all the way to California for a day.
No, no, of course not. I mean, if
So,
you're gonna go to America, you might as well make it like a holiday.
yeah, I mean, we did. Like I said, we went for nearly a month years ago, the second tour. So yeah, so we've done America, but yeah, I mean, Detroit was nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Roel just said that he also didn't know that it cost that much. So, like for
No, it's
British
it's
musicians
absolute
or
nightmare. You can go.
British
You can.
bands.
Yeah, I don't know how much it is for Japan, but yeah, America, it's a nightmare. It's,
Right. And I suppose you can't just go there without
no,
the
I mean, well,
working visa, isn't it? So
even in Europe now, you've got to have a visa, haven't we, now since Brexit. So
yeah, yeah. I know.
that's a nightmare.
It's oh God. Well, hopefully it will change and
Yes,
make it
I mean,
better for the musicians. So
we're always open to offers. We'll say that.
yeah. Well, there you go. Well, if you could offer them something.
Messages through Facebook.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much,
No, it's been
Graham.
a pleasure.
I really enjoyed it. I'm so glad that like you said, you don't really do this kind of thing, but I'm so happy that you said yes to us to
No,
show up.
thank you for asking. No, it's
And
been a
thank
pleasure.
you so much for B-Movie. That
Thank you.
Nowhere Girl classic.
Yes,
It's such a classic, that song as well. All
thank
right.
you.
Well, thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Yes, and the same with you. And okay, thank you.
All
Bye.
right.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Oh, this is so good. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. It's just really nice to be back on Ask the Drummer and then, having Graham Boffey there as well. He's so amazing. And, like, I keep saying this, but Nowhere Girl it's a classic song. So, yeah, thanks, everyone. And I do hope that you're gonna join me again next week because we've got another amazing drummer for next week. So do keep an eye out for the guest announcement post. So enjoy the rest of the weekend. Uh, well, it's lovely out here or in the UK. It's summer, and I hope it's also nice weather and lovely where you are. And I'll see you all again next week. So love music, love life, and as always, love, love, love drummers. See you all again. Bye for now. Bye.